All right. Story number three. Now, you guys want to see a dead body? That is a term, a phrase that people use whenever someone starts going viral in the wrong way on Twitter. I refuse to call it X. X is more difficult for me to say than Twitter. So I'm sticking with Twitter until enough time passes and people don't know what I mean until I say Twitter. But there was a very interesting tweet that went up today that it had me rolling because it had me thinking, to be honest. But let's take a look at this tweet right here. Okay, this tweet right here says, Big Sean is like the Ludacris of this generation. Everyone knows he can rap. He drops hit singles, yet he's never in the discussion as the best. I think this person thought they cooked when they dropped this tweet, and I honestly see what they're saying. Right? Because everyone does know that Big Sean can rap. Everyone knows Ludacris can rap. He drops hit singles. Ludacris can drop some hit singles. Yet he's never in discussion as the best. Never in the discussion as the best. All right, so first tweet underneath it. This is one of the worst hip-hop comparisons I've ever seen in my life. Right, and so, but, if you really want to see what's happening on Twitter, it's always all about the quotes. It's always about the quotes, right? So here's the first one. Shout out to Ruben from Check the Rap. He says, Big Sean doesn't have a verse or moment that's more memorable than Ludacris outshining Prime Nas and Jadakiss on the Made You Look remix. Now, that is a pivotal thing. So if you look at the history of Ludacris, right? Ludacris was like a Busta Rhymes type rapper. He was like a Missy Elliott type rapper. He had, crazy cartoonish music videos, massive bombastic voice, absolutely in the pantheon of MCs you do not want to have to follow if you are in a cipher with them. If you're in a cipher with Redman, Busta Rhymes, Ludacris, regardless of albums sold, sales, or whatever, you do not want to go after them, right? Because his voice control is crazy. His voice just reverberates through the track like it's whatever, and he's quotable. Ludacris is one of the most quotable people I ever heard in my life. Why do you think they take a hoe to a hotel? Hotel everybody, even the mayor. Reach up to the sky, touch the hoe zone layer. Come on, player, once a hoe, always. Because hoes never close, they open like hallways. Come on, man. 1 second applause. He could do that just reflexively, and he made a whole career out of it. But when this happened, when this Made You Look remix dropped, that was the first time my older cousin Shah, who's my Jedi master, he's the one who taught me everything cool in life, whether it's hip-hop, whether it's rap, whether it's video games, whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, everything dope, whether it's Star Wars, that came from cousin Shah. He's like, this is cool, this is not cool, right? That might be the first time he ever said an MC not named Andre 3000 from the South was just amazing. I don't want to put it all the way on him, but I know Ludacris's reputation transcended his region. A lot of people had criticisms. Ruud Jew used to talk about this all the time, how publications would talk about how they would grade albums that came from the South on a curve, meaning they would rate them lower in magazines and in reviews back then than they would albums that came from LA or New York, because most of the media was in LA and New York at that point in time. Ludacris cracked through that. Now, he doesn't have any 5 mic albums, I wouldn't say, but he's always one of those artists that had just the utmost respect. The utmost respect. And I do think performances like this put new thoughts into people's minds. Ludacris got on the track with Nas and Jadakiss and won. Calling out newspapers on Nas's joint. That was a big moment. Let's see what they got here. The next one. Y'all got Luda effed up. Next one. Big Sean has never seen a Ludacris run a day in his career. What are we doing here, yo? Ludacris had a crazy run. Right? I pulled up his, if we look at his albums, right? Incognito, first of all, that's basically his independent release. But then you get to Back for the First Time, 3 times platinum. Back for the First Time. One of the best, one of the craziest surprise albums. Like this album right here, this was rocking on every road trip I was ever going on, any step show we were going to, any place Black Planet would take us. This album was rocking with us, right? Fantasy, What's Your Fantasy is on here, which is incredible song. Mouthing Off, which is crazy. Ho, I was just rapping that. Use a ho, that song was crazy. I mean, all these songs went up in the club. Southern Hospitality. I mean, this was a major album. It's 3 times platinum. One of my first interviews with Scarface, he was talking about how, I think he was the one that signed him to Def Jam South. I think he was signed to Def Jam South. And he was talking about the things he loved about him as an MC. And one of the things he was talking about him as an MC was just his sheer rapping ability as an MC. The way he could just, make songs that appeal to men, that made songs that appeal to women, and still deliver on some hip hop lyricism every time out. 3 million out the gate. Word of mouth. This is when he was blowing up. This is when everybody was excited for him. Roll Out. I got my twin Glock 40. Top back. 1 second pause. Roll Out is crazy. Go to Sleep. I mean, with 3 6 Mafia, that was nuts. Area Codes. Classic song. Move Bitch. That song is a crazy. Saturday, Ooh Ooh Ooh. Word of Mouth itself. Incredible run. 3 times platinum. Chicken and Beer. 2.5 times platinum. A lot of people think this is his best album. A lot of people consider this Ludacris' best album. Right. Blow It Out, Stand Up, Splash Waterfalls, Hard Times, Diamond in the Bag. Diamond in the Bag, it still goes crazy these days. P-Poppin', Hip Hop Quotables, right? The people who are saying Big Sean is the Ludacris of this generation, I don't know what Big Sean's Hip Hop Quotables is. I don't know what his Hip Hop Quotables is. Eric Sermon is on that track, produced that track. Incredible album, right? 3 million, 3 million, 2.5 million, 2 million, The Red Light District. I think this is criminally slept on. I actually love The Red Light District, especially the song back here, Virgo, with Nas and Dougie Fresh. Virgo was on this album, and I think it was also on Nas's Streets Disciple as well. This song has Nas, Dougie Fresh, and Ludacris. Like, this is a quintessential hip-hop track, right? I mean, it's got beatboxing. It's got, just crazy cypher type, organic outside hip-hop experience. Love that song. Number 1 spot, which I think took from Austin Powers video, if I remember. Get Back. Put Your Money Up. This song was kind of hokey. I think they were in a casino. If this is the casino song I'm thinking about. Blueberry Yum Yum. Child of the Night, The Potion. These are pimping all over the world with Bobby Valentino. I feel like this album is underrated. I really do feel like it's underrated. 2 million. Release Therapy, 1.3 million, but this is probably his most industry successful one because he won Best Rap Album at the Grammys. This album won Best Rap Album at the Grammys, and that's significant. So we got 2007, that's Ludacris, right? You've got Lil Wayne, The Carter 3 in 2009. And those are the only 2 Southern rappers to win Best Rap Album at the Grammys. The guys before that, of course, was Outkast. So there's only been, this looks accurate. Yeah, this looks accurate. There's only been 3 acts from the South that have ever won Best Rap Album at the Grammys. Outkast has won it twice. Lil Wayne won it for the Carter 3. And Ludacris in 2007. Oh, Killer Mike. Excuse me. and Killer Mike. So there's 4 acts in the history of this category who have ever won Best Rap Album from the South. Outkast, Lil Wayne, Ludacris, and Killer Mike. Outkast won twice. Best Rap Album at the Grammys, Release Therapy, Ludacris. So what this guy is saying, what my man is saying, Big Sean has never seen a Ludacris run a day in his career. That's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about. He is talking about 3 times platinum, 3 times platinum, 2.5 times platinum, 2 times platinum, 1.3 platinum, and Best Rap Album at the Grammys. Theater of the Mind is a quality album. Battle of the Sexes, that one kind of fell apart. Ludaversal, got some good raps on it, but definitely wasn't his best. Right. Now, we can take a look at Big Sean's. Big Sean's no slouch. Big Sean's no slouch. Finally Famous, platinum, Hall of Fame, gold. Dark Sky Paradise, 2 times platinum. To me, this is his best album. I Decided, platinum. Detroit 2, gold. This is what they're saying. This is what they're saying. They're saying this is the type of run that Big Sean has never seen. This is exactly what they mean. Right, next one. Big Sean ain't got one move, bitch. Roll out, area code, stand up. What's your fantasy? And that's the short list. Luda got classics. Luda got classics on classics. He's won ciphers. He's been the best rapper on songs. Here's the next one. Love Sean, but Ludacris has rap hits, hood classics, pop crossover hits, and 5 #1 albums. Ludacris sold millions of records and was so famous as a rapper that he became an actor, so I don't know about this take at all. All right, here's his next one. Defunct. Big shout out to Defunct. Big Sean can rap. The fact is, this is a fact, but please don't say something silly on a public forum like this. Sean has never had a single even remotely close to the impact of Move, bitch. I can name like 4 or 5 more songs, but let's leave it there. Now, here's the thing, and here's one more, and I'll read it, then I'll bring this around. Don't disrespect Ludacris like this. That man went into the lion's den and put his life on the line to spit that made you look verse. That man made Splash Waterfalls. That man drove a Pontiac into space. Don't disrespect that man. 1 second applause. Now, this is the thing, right? You can see how much love Ludacris is getting in this tweet. You can see the love he's getting, right? And he's deserved it because he's earned it, right? We just looked at his Wikipedia. I mean, the record sales are crazy. Jay-Z had a line, only dude moving units, M, Pimp Juice, and us. He was wrong. He was wrong. Ludacris was moving units too. Luda was moving units, rapping, right? So a head-to-head comparison to Big Sean, I'm with all these comments that I see here. I'm with all the comments. But if we go back to the tweet, Big Sean is like the Ludacris of this generation. Everyone knows he can rap. He drops hit singles, yet he's never in the discussion as the best. Well, I personally think that this is probably giving Big Sean too much credit. I think Big Sean, in terms, if you're just looking at the impact of their careers that they've had or the impact on the commercial side of their careers that they've had, Big Sean is very far away from Ludacris. But at the core of this tweet, it's saying that everyone knows he can rap. He drops hits, yet he's never in discussion as the best. And that is something that I don't feel is as far away from the truth as a lot of these responses make it seem. Because Ludacris came up in an era with Jay-Z. He was around with Eminem. Ludacris was around with Nas. Ludacris was around with Andre 3000. Ludacris is around in the shadow of Biggie and Pac. And nobody was really allowed to say they were the best in the late 90s, early 2000s. Anybody saying they were better than Biggie and Pac in the late 90s, early 2000s, that just kind of made people feel uncomfortable. Even when Jay-Z said it, if I ain't better than Big, I'm the closest one, he hedged his bets. Ludacris came out in the shadow of Lauryn Hill. So Ludacris had titans around him. And he showed up rapping every single time. But I feel like there weren't that many people saying that Ludacris was actually the best. Actually the best. I don't think that's what the debate was. And part of the reason I think that is because this album, again, right here, Release Therapy. This album here, where he won Grammy for Best Rap Album. One of the reasons this song stood out, or this album stood out so much, was because it had this song, Runaway Love, with Mary J. Blige. And it was a heartfelt song about, you know, a bad relationship. Ludacris didn't have that many tracks like that. Ludacris didn't have that many tracks that showed him as a person. That's where a lot of those artists fell, right? I mean, Redman fell into that category. Method Man fell into that category. At some point, you have to make music that really resonates and connects with people. Jay-Z, when he makes Song Cry, for example, a lot of stuff on The Blueprint, for example, that really pushed him into another conversation. Tupac, tons of songs like that. Biggie had songs like that. Eminem, tons of songs like that. Ludacris gets to that point on Release Therapy and wins Grammy for Best Rap Album. So at that point in time, I believe, one of the reasons why I believe that this tweet right here, isn't as off as the responses seem, is because Ludacris didn't have more songs in his category. Ludacris didn't have more songs in his catalog that resonated with the person inside of us all. He had plenty of lyrical exhibitions that should be in the pantheon of hip hop history. He has a career that just completely surpasses Big Sean's in a respectful way. Everyone knows he can rap. Everyone knows Ludacris can drop hit singles. Yet Ludacris was never really in the discussion of being the best at his peak amongst his peers. And I think it's because the music he made didn't connect with the person inside of us, the humanity, in the same way as the rest of his peers. Am I reaching? Am I wrong? Or do you guys believe the reactions to this tweet? Or do you guys see what I'm saying? Let me know what you think. I thought this was really funny. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel. Follow @thecompanyman on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.